Nate, you beautiful black man. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. I'm doing
Yeah,
quite well. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm really good. It's weird. It's been not to get too old manny here, you know what I'm saying? But it's getting warmer. I don't want to jump right off and talk about weather, but watching like the MLF stuff and the elites and stuff, watching people actually fishing open water while all these Wisconsin lakes are frozen, but now it's getting warmer. It's got me a little itching for something, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, without a doubt. On the way home from work today, the river finally had no ice all the way across it, and it
Uh-oh.
was slick, calm. It was calling my name. It was yeah. If the boat was ready, I might have put it on there for
You
just a little
were
bit.
like, what'd you say?
Exactly. Yeah. I
What?
hear you. I hear you.
I hear you, baby. Uh, or I live up here in Scotty. The first place that always opens is I don't remember what pool it is, but it touches Red Wing, Minnesota, and it's like a walleye haven. Like everybody loves it for walleye, whatever. And like right now at work, it's starting to get busy because the dudes who are like, crazy about walleye fishing, like we're crazy about bass fishing, like
Yeah.
they're the Red Wing to brave the cold temperatures, and they will be stacked up like sardines over there. I mean, it'll be 40 boats and a teeny little pool, and they're all catching walleyes. And yeah, I mean, you get that itch, man. You gotta go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care how cold it is outside. Like, gear up. You just gotta go.
Yeah. I feel like since I've gotten older, like I didn't realize the phrase like cabin fever, as they
Yeah.
say, until like you get that that itch to really want to get out and go fish and do stuff outside. Like, man, it's yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and like all respect to our buddy Brian Brosdahl, who was such an awesome, one of my favorite interviews we've had in so long. Just such a passionate dude. Like ice fishing sucks, man. I want it to not. But it's so hard, dude. Like when you're used to like zooming around on your trolling motor, getting on pad, moving spots, and then you got to like drill. And like right now, because it's towards the end of the ice season, I'm putting my whole daggum auger through the ice before I even get to the water, like like way down and like
Right.
yeah, it's just I don't know. I'm no diss to ice fishing. It doesn't actually suck, but it does not scratch the itch like uh, you know, like actual open water fishing. Like I really only started snowboarding way back in the day because I was a skateboarder, and in Wisconsin there was nothing to do skateboard wise in the winter, so I snowboarded, and snowboarding was dope, but it wasn't skateboarding. Ice fishing
Right.
cool, but it's not fishing. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, for sure.
just I'm ready, dude. I'm so ready like to get out there, and I don't know. I mean, I'm ready, but I'm not. Like I haven't really done anything to get tackle prepped, a new line and whatever. I'm gonna go out there and throw some fluoro, and it's gonna look like like Jerry Curl. They're just tight, and you know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna come
Oh yeah.
ugly and whatever. But gosh, dog, and I'm ready to go, man. Well, welcome to another episode of Tackle and Tacos. It's not just a weather podcast. We also talk about fishing, and we talk about tacos. And tonight, man. I am so pumped, like legit. When we came up, and I've said this a few times, honestly, we've been honored to have a lot of the guests that we've had on the show. Like when we first came up with the show, me, Nate, and Lola, we sat down
Yeah.
and we had like a list, like who do we really want to have on the show? There was like bass fishing guys, and then there was like another class, which is what our guest tonight comes out of, which was like bass fishing legends or fishing legends class. And then there was like just the nonsense ones, like The Rock or Travis Hunter, or guys that we're never going to have on the podcast, but guys that
Yeah.
we like are fishermen, whatever. And this dude was on like the legends sheet of paper for us, not just because he's an incredible angler, and he is, but he's one of the few dudes who I feel like if you asked him about something, he's just going to tell the truth. He's not going to front. He's not going to run in circles. He's not going to kind of like over pad it. He's just going to be like, bleh. And he's always done that. And I've always respected the crap out of that. People who are honest. I remember he was the first dude I think ever, honesty can look different to different people. And I always really loved Ike Anelli, who's in his last season and stuff, because he was so honest. One of the things that stood out to me about our guest tonight was when he said something along the lines of, before he started kind of clicking and getting wins, he was ready to almost call it fishing professionally because he could not connect the dots financially. And I'd never heard anybody else, no pro angler, no pro anything, talk about the struggle of finances. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, dude,
Yeah.
that's so respectable. That's so honest. It's real. A lot of guys might not do that, out of pride or just what, and I don't know. So our guest tonight is the one and only, the fishing legend himself, Boom Boom, Fred Roumbanis. What is it?
Banis.
Rumban.
Roumbanis. Come
Gosh,
on, come
do
on.
F it up, dude. He's like one of my favorite fishermen. I can't even say his freaking name. He's gonna come on and be like, F you guys, and just jump right back.
Right.
But just call him Fred or call him Boom Boom. He's just a stud. I feel like he's just one of the most honest dudes out there. He's designed some killer stuff. He used to rock a V20, just like your boy rides in now. Guy from the West Coast who then I think we'll have to verify this with him. Lived, I think, in Alabama or somewhere, and now he resides in Arkansas. So I do want to talk to him about that West Coast stuff because that's pretty unique. Former FLW Angler of the Year. And you want to talk about swimming with the sharks and eating the sharks. Like FLW in its heyday, that was it. You know what I'm talking? You're talking
sure.
like,
yeah, without a doubt.
Like sticks of sticks, and there's like 30,000 of them rocking on a lake. Like there was so many dudes in the FLW, and and all these big like international tournaments, and the dude is just a hammer, and he happens to be a super authentic fella. I don't know. I think there's just some cool combinations here. So I'm really stoked to talk to him. Nate, you got anything else to say before we bring the man in?
No, I think you hit it all on the head. I might just want to rephrase. You called it maybe a legends list, and I feel like that might date some of our anglers a little bit. Not that they're old and legends, but I mean, but it's guys that are totally out of our league in terms of on this podcast, and he's for sure one of them.
Oh, that's not like a question. He definitely should not be on our podcast, but we'll take it.
Yeah, without a doubt. So let's bring him in. I'm ready.
Roumbanis. Was that right?
Yes.
Was that? I don't know. Anyway, no further ado. Get the button ready. We're honored, legit, like real talk. The word honored to have Boom Boom on Tackling Tacos. Boom Boom, what's up, man?
What's going on, Jordan? What's going on, Nate?
Hey.
Man, it's great to be here. I do need to correct you. I never did get an Angler of the Year title, so that was
LW.
No. I won a La Crosse, Wisconsin. I could have had an Angler of the Year title in that series.
Okay.
However, I did have an incident on the final day of competition where I ran across a floater. We'll just leave it at that. It was not a good situation.
Okay, I had it so in my head you had
almost had it.
Yeah, okay. That you had. I apologize, Fred.
Yeah. No, that's all right. No worries.
Yeah,
but no.
I knew one in my backyard. I knew you won in La Crosse, which is amazing.
That was still one of the best intros I think I've ever had on a podcast. So I appreciate it, guys.
Like 7
really cool.
times. Jeepers, crime me. Sorry for the name mishap, buddy.
Look, we changed it when my dad's family came over here from Greece, from Roumbanis to Roumbanis, and my cousin still says Roumbanis. So really, you said it both ways correctly. It's just
I tried enough ways. Sooner or later.
I mean, you really can't. I think. Boom Boom's probably the easiest thing.
Wait, okay, so I feel like I know, but now I'm like second guessing myself. Where did Boom Boom come from?
It's funny you say that too. And I tell everyone, I've been called a lot worse. So the Boom Boom came from back in 2007. We had a Bassmaster Elite major, and I don't know if you remember the majors or not. We had 3 of those.
Yeah.
You had to qualify over 2 years to get into them. Well, I started my career with Bassmaster Elites in 2006, and at the inaugural one. Well, that year was like the first year, and the second year was 2007. At that time, I was like 7th in the points, so I'd qualified over 2 years to get to the first major, which was at High Rock Lake in North Carolina. Anyway, I didn't catch a limit the first day, didn't catch a limit the second day, but I made it into the finals, top 12, where they moved us to another lake, Lake Townsend. Mm-hmm. And the media, Mark Jeffries with the Bass Zone, Harold Allen, they actually called him the legend. That's his nickname, Harold Allen.
Yeah.
They started calling me, or they picked me as the dark horse to win the event, Fred Boom Boom Roumbanis. And I think a lot of it is kind of like Boom Boom Mancini, Out Goes the Lights, like the boxer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they just kind of referred it like that. And I think like Freddie Couples was Boom Boom too, or something like that for golfing. So yeah, but I think the boxing thing is what really I remember them saying why they were calling me, because I asked them, I said, why you guys call me Boom Boom? But anyway, hey, look, it's been the best thing that's ever happened to me over my career.
Yeah,
I did end up winning that tournament, which was really cool. So that was a huge milestone for my career. I was 27 years old, and I was actually
Gosh.
any day during that event, my wife was due for a baby. So I was kind of here and there, just got in a wreck right before I got there. My Toyota Tundra was smashed up, and I somehow made it out there to fish the event. Um, and I I won the event, made it back home to Oklahoma to see the birth of my first son. So it was just the most incredible week ever. And yeah, that's probably a lot of information, but it was just an incredible time in my life. So that was back in 2007. They started calling me Boom Boom.
Yeah.
They just kept calling me that, and then finally I was like, I need to like trademark this. So I did. I
Yeah.
trademarked it for 3 different things: a logo, and then all things in fishing, and then also as an entertainer. Believe it or not, I was the nobody had actually trademarked it as an entertainer. So I did
Whoa.
all 3 things. So
Dang.
Heck yeah, that's awesome.
and I've been able to brand a lot of products in the fishing world under the Boom Boom. I've
Yep.
used it for marketing, and what's nice about that is tournament bass fishing is, unless you're a Drew Gill or a Jacob Wheeler right now, I mean it's a roller coaster ride. You have your moments, you have your momentum, and you lose steam, and then you got to try to climb back up that hill, and it's constant wave that is inconsistent, and it makes financial, um, it just, you got to be prepared for the bad years when you have the good years. So having this brand associated with me has really been a great thing, because again, I got products out there, and those are out there constantly making money. So I
Yeah,
can
that's smart. That makes sense.
fish
Heck yeah.
a little bit more relaxed now than I used to.
Yeah. Yeah. And that, okay, so you don't have to get all up into the pay of it. But wasn't that tournament like $250,000 too? That was a big one, wasn't
Yeah, that was $250,000. Hold on one
it?
second. Hey, knock it off, doggies. I got these dogs over here. I got 3 dogs in here. Sorry, I'm in my shop right now. I put them outside, but we got coyotes barking out there.
Yeah, don't do.
So I apologize.
No, you don't have to.
No, all good. Yeah.
Love dogs, man, for sure. So yeah,
It's not me or my stomach growling, I promise.
oh, you know what? We can't see the dogs, but we'll take your word on. Oh,
They're right there.
oh, look at that old one with the gray face. Oh, cute. Oh, just
So,
chilling. Dude,
yeah.
look
What
at
are their names?
the top, dude.
So we got Russell for Russellville. We got Rye, which I call him Ryugi, and then we got Callie from California.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Dude,
That's awesome.
I'm so pumped. Speaking of all that, I'm so pumped to talk to you about your sort of like geographic stuff. So you didn't live in Alabama, you lived in Oklahoma, right?
Oklahoma, correct. Yeah.
I knew it was one of those states that's like a good fishing. I couldn't remember what it was, but yeah, that's crazy though. $250,000, a pregnant wife, 27 years old, wrecked truck. That's a lot of different things coming
There was
together.
a lot going on. It was wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. And back then that was, 2007. That was worth a lot more money than it is now, so
Yeah,
it was
Jesus.
definitely a life changer. I was able to buy a house, and did a lot of things that I was having a good year too. So it really was, it was just fantastic. So
07 was an amazing pivot point. Yeah. I mean, how do
it
you,
really was.
I remember coming home at different times and telling my wife, who's one of the hosts of the show, but she's upstairs with our 4-year-old. I remember coming home with like $1,000 check. I'm like, hey, I won this tournament. How the heck do you come home with $250,000 and tell your wife, like, look at this? Like, what in the world?
Oh man, and I messed with, I like, this is how dumb I am. She's pregnant, right? She's about to pop, and I'm messing with her as I'm driving through. I don't think I got it. I don't think it's gonna. I had a bad day, Da, da, da. And then I was kind of told by other guys you probably won, but I wanted to downplay it, so that there was some excitement.
Yeah.
Well, there was a lot of excitement, and she was jumping up and down, and I was like, okay, dumb me. I should have like eased into this and said, hey, calm. We probably got this. But it's crazy because what's really weird about that, and is the fact that I never caught a limit in 4 days. I caught, it was weird. I caught, let's see here. It was like 3, 4, 3, 4, something like that.
Wow.
But it was just big ones, I just got the right bites. And
yeah,
I'll never forget that tournament. One thing was that really was interesting was on day 2. It was about midway through the day. I really didn't have anything. And my marshal on the boat was like, well, it doesn't look like I'm going to win a boat. And I'm like, you win a boat? Like, how are you going to win a boat? He's like, well, the day 2 big bass wins the official the boat. And I guess that was their way to keep officials there for 2 days or whatever
Wow.
it was. And so I just looked at him and said, "Well, shoot, let's go win you a boat." And I'm not kidding you. I was swimming a 7-inch robo worm on a shaky head on bluff walls, and I hooked into a giant, and I think it was my first fish of the day. And I remember seeing it. I'm like, "Holy moly, this is big. Like this is probably going to win you a boat." And he's, "Oh my gosh, oh my gosh!" And I got in the boat, and then when I landed that fish, and I put in the live well, I was thinking, I just won this sucker a boat, and I probably don't even have enough for a check. I'm probably not even going to catch a check in this tournament. I've got like an hour to fish left. It's the only fish I got, and then I went down a little further and caught like a 2-pounder, and I'm like, man, I just need one more fish. And I remember it was like 10 minutes left, and then I caught a 5, and I went back in, and I think there might have been one more in there. I can't really remember. I know it sounds crazy. It was either 3 or 4, but that's all I caught. And it was like 17 and a half pounds worth of bass. So there had to have been probably one more, maybe a 3-pounder in there. But anyway, it was crazy. It just, yeah, I caught like a 7-pound, like it was almost 7 pounds, the one that won him the boat. He won the boat.
He did get it. Wow.
He got the boat. And I advanced. So I knew I'd won at least $10,000. I knew he won a boat. He won 40,000 something. I got 10 grand. Yeah, I'm thinking, this guy's probably going to tip me or something,
Yes.
I never heard a word from the guy. No,
Jeez,
thank you. Not even like a card in the mail, like a Christmas.
Wow.
Thank you.
That's
Nothing.
wild.
The Christmas card of him sitting in the boat.
Yeah, just something. I mean, like, hey, this is really cool. You won me a boat. No, nothing. Never heard from the guy again. But I did win $250,000, so he probably is like,
kind of bounced out there for sure. Fred, if you would, man, I love asking our guests this, and I've watched enough of your stuff. I feel like I have somewhat of a gist of it. You growing up on the left coast, and I read somewhere that you would like ride your BMX bike down to places to try and fish and all that. Will you give us a rundown a little bit of what it was like fishing on the West Coast coming up, and just kind of some of your background and how you got started in all this?
Gosh, I absolutely loved my childhood. My dad was a cable car conductor in San Francisco. And so I grew up on the east bay of San Francisco in a city called Orinda. And on the other side of the hill was Lafayette, which is another city, but there was a reservoir that separated kind of like the back, our hill. If you went down, you could, about 2 miles, there was a lake down there called Lafayette Reservoir. And for my childhood, for the most part, I would spend every day in the summer riding my bike down there, just basically just ride my bike down the hill, or my mom would drop me off in the morning before she went to work, and then they would pick me up when they got back from work as the park was closing. So I spent every day fishing, and I felt like the park rangers were probably, for my parents, were probably kind of like cheap babysitters. But I mean, we didn't come from a lot of money or anything like that, so I'll make that real clear. But like I said, my dad was a cable car conductor, and what I would do is just like growing up, and obviously times are way different now than they were back then, but I'd be like 8 and 10 years old, and there was a BART, Bay Area Transit, that basically runs under the bay. It's a bus system, that basically a train that goes underneath the bay and pops you up in San Francisco. And one of the stops was right there in Orinda. So I would, skateboard basically to BART, go take BART to San Francisco by myself, skateboard in the, to find my dad on the cable car, and then just go ride up and down, with my dad. And then I'd go skate in Embarcadero, hang out with all these older teenagers and just skate. That's what I did. I skated, I BMX, I raced BMX, and then I got into snowboarding, just like you were saying. And and I did all that. And I actually, believe it or not, at one point I wanted to be a pro snowboarder. That was my yeah. And I would go snowboarding every weekend. Some days I would drive 3 hours, go snowboarding for the entire day, come back, skateboard till midnight, and then do it all over again, like sleep 3 hours.
What's so up there? Where were you going? Like, you weren't going to like Big Bear and stuff, were you? Or Mammoth?
No, I'd go to because I was in Northern California, so I'd go to like Boreal, Squaw. Gosh, there's so many of them up there. North Star, Sugar Bowl.
Man, I'm jealous. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I went to quite a few. But
Heck yeah.
Boreal always had it was the closest, and it had the best snowboard park, and
Mm.
I can get away with a 12-year-old pass with the goggles on.
Okay.
Like 18.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
So it didn't cost me a ton of money. I was cheating the system, right? But
Yeah, sure.
but no, it was just I had a freak accident. I finally got an opportunity to take my brother snowboarding. He'd never seen me snowboard, and it was one of those days where the snow was all ice, so they caution taped around the parks, and I just wanted to go off one of the tabletops and just show my brother a cool trick. And I just hopped over the caution tape and just went on down. And one thing I learned with snowboarding, the faster you went, you actually had more control in the air. And I did a 720 tail grab, but I had way too much air. And when I came down, we didn't wear helmets or anything like that back then.
No.
I came down and landed on my feet, but my head hit the back of the lip on the bottom end of it. So it was like a 40-foot tabletop.
Jeepers
And, I mean, I was up there. And my brother saw me land it, and he was like, "Oh my gosh!" He got down there, and I was out cold. I rode off, and I was out cold. Woke up 4 hours later at the Truckee Hospital. Didn't even get to enjoy the snowmobile ride.
Wow.
To the bottom of the hill.
That's crazy.
So yeah, it was wild. I guess I'm lucky to be alive, to be honest with you. That was a pretty bad head injury. And I woke up. I had my left thumb. I had a bolt like all the way through it. They had my thumb, I guess, snapped back, and it was crazy. Like
That's
so
wild.
I went through a little bit there, and then when I came back to work, I was making lures. I was actually making spinner baits for a company called VPR, Viper Lures, and then they had changed their name to VPR. But I was making spinner baits for like Gary Dobbins. I made spinner baits, and he won 3 boats in 5 weeks on some of the baits I made him. So really cool history there, but I got fired from that job. The only time I've really been fired because I came back with a broken thumb and couldn't make baits fast enough. So it was, it's like a sweatshop for lures.
Right.
That was minimum wage, but it still sucked. I was like, it's my hookup on baits and everything. Any of the blemished ones I got to keep. But so that was like kind of a bummer deal. Then my 19th birthday rolled around, and I fished a tournament on my 19th birthday on the Delta, and that was a lot of money back then to fish this pro-am. It was $350, and my dad actually paid for that entry for me, and that was just unbelievable, because that was like I said, it was a lot of money. It was the most expensive thing he's ever did for me at the time. And, so I went out there, and I remember talking to Ish Monroe, told him kind of where I was fishing. It was really windy. We were out of the south part of the Delta, and I said, well, I'm going to go, down towards Frank's Track and cross over, which is like the heart of the Delta. It's the widest area. Well, in the wind and the tide and the current and stuff, and I had a little 16-foot skeeter that barely floated anyway. I get out there, and my middle compartment lid actually flew off while I was running. So I slowed down to put that back down, and I guess the boat took on some water. Yeah, I know, it was pretty bad. So then I get out in the Frank's Track area, and then it just died on me. I was like, what the heck? And water was coming in so fast. The thing just, have you ever seen a boat when it sinks? It kind of goes like this. It just sits upside down. I put troll motor down, and boats are running by me. I don't think they realized that I was sinking, but when it did, I had to swim for like 45 minutes. It was a bad ordeal. I lost all my rods, lost my boat, lost everything. So I got the story backwards. This happened before my snowboard accident. Okay. This happened right before my snowboard accident. So the snowboarding thing was like the next weekend.
Oh, that's a bad run.
Yeah. Golly,
yeah. Because then I broke my thumb and everything else. So I was like, no boat, no fishing rods, got fired from my job. Snowboarding was out on a career. Fishing was definitely out for the time being. But then I just kind of went back to school. I got a job at, I was working at a tackle store, and then I got a job as a sales rep, working for a company called Calvin Western Sales. and I got to cover the West Coast while I was still kind of going to school and stuff. So that was a good deal. Just repping stuff like Daiwa, Yozuri. Had some really cool products in the fishing world, and then we had like Wenger Swiss Army, lacrosse footwear, even some paintball stuff. So I was kind of all over the map with all that, learning the sales thing. It's kind of just a really good experience for me.
Heck yeah.
So I did that for a little bit, and then I got like another opportunity where I could do that and really go to school through a distributor that I was selling to, and the distributor hired me, and they owned P-Line. It was just the Pucci family. They had a Smalley's Wholesale, and they just gave me a little like Telzon unit, which you could just go into a store and scan a barcode. If it needs, another pack of hooks, you can, or whatever it is, you can just type it in there, how many, quantity, whatever. And it was real quick. I'd go to these Long's drug stores, fill their fishing supplies, and I could do all this in like 2 days and then go to school the rest of the time. And so I did that for a little bit. And then that Callan Western Sales Company called me to come work for them again, but moved to Southern California. This time they're offering me a truck, and I got gas cards and this and that, and I can go fishing. And I'm like, man, this is great. So that's where I kind of got in to moving to Southern California and getting involved in all, that the EverStart series they actually hadn't come out west yet, because from there I got a job at Akuma, and I worked at Akuma, and this is basically from like, and I'm kind of just giving you a fast forward of like,
oh, this is awesome
history.
Heck
But it was
yeah.
like this is from like 18 snowboarding on my 19th birthday. I woke up in the hot, no, 19th birthday I sunk my boat. then this is going about 23 years old now, 22, 23, after doing sales for a few years, and working for Akuma. And when I took that job to leave Callan, that was when the first EverStarts came out west. And that's when I asked, I said, okay, well, if I take this job, will you give me the time off to fish these EverStart tournaments? There's 4 of them. I think it was 3 or 4. Anyway, I know the Delta was on there, Pleasant, maybe Clear Lake. Well, I know I finished 9th on the Delta, and I had a good one at Pleasant. Anyway, I ended up getting a letter in the mail while I was going to work one day. I was living in Newport Beach. My roommate was like a singer, like in a rock band. It was crazy. And I was sleeping on an air mattress in the other room, right? So, but anyway, I got this letter in the mail, and my commute each day was like 2 hours each way.
Holy crap!
Yeah, because I was living at that time. I went from Huntington Beach to Newport Beach, and it was like a 52-mile drive to work, but it was 2 hours each way. So 8-hour day, 4 hours of commute. It sucked. I'm not gonna lie, it sucked.
Yeah, that sounds horrible.
And
Brutal.
But they gave me time to fish those EverStarts, and I qualified to the FLW Tour from those EverStarts. And when that happened, I presented, this to my bosses over there at Akuma, and they offered me $10,000 to wrap my boat and truck. They were going to give me 10 grand towards the FLW Tour, and I was like, I'm in.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
I
Heck yeah.
responsibilities. I'm 24 years old, whatever, and I was like, yeah, well, we're doing this, And I had a pretty good season. Last term of the season, I say good season, not really a good season. There was 200 boats, and the last term of the season was at Lake Champlain, and I was throwing a frog, and I had a 4.5 pounder while I was culling jump out of the live well, and I ran out of time. I ended up catching some more fish. I came in with 18 pounds. On the run back in, I actually went through a wave because I had an older boat, and it actually yanked the cowling off. Went through the wave, cowling came off. I finished 12th place, got a nice check. Had that fish stayed in the live well, I'd have made the top 10 and probably had a legit shot to win the tournament because I was by myself throwing a frog in a pretty special area. I had 2 areas. One area, a guy named Dean Rojas basically came in and told me I could leave now, which was weird because he wasn't in there the first day. But he saw me catching him on a frog, and I can go on about that story. But anyway, so I ended up.
You Ishman rode him.
What's that?
Speaking of Ish, you should have Ishman rode him.
Well, so he told Ish, he goes, I big leagued your buddy. Ish, Ish,
Oh my gosh!
Dean Rojas told Ish he big leagued me, and
Wow.
then it's
Yeah.
all right. I when I won the first elite tournament ever on a frog, it kind of stung back at him. So it
Right.
That's colder.
Heck yeah.
karma's a, you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So,
Amazing.
but yeah, so like that was tough because I finished 101. Had that fish not jumped out, I would have finished in the top 100. But those 2 points, I finished 101 in the standings, and they took top 100. And they probably knew I had an older boat and I wasn't sponsor friendly with the FLW Tour and stuff. So I was out. I was out of the FLW Tour, and I didn't know what I was going to do. So I went back. I fished the U.S. Open that year, and let's see here. Yeah, so then from the U.S. Open, I got invited to go fish in Spain with Kelly Jordan, Ike Anelli, Ish, Byron Velvick. We had a great group of guys that went out there, and we had a blast. I remember sitting there with Kelly, and I'm like, He's like, what are you gonna do next year? I said, I don't know. I said, I'm not really qualified for anything right now. And he goes, well, why don't you do the Northern Ever Starts? They haven't started yet. And this is back in 2005. So just to kind of get the dates right. So 2005. I I'd go and fish the Northern Ever Starts blind after I get back. I don't have any money. Like I'm at this point, I'm like broke, right? Like really bad. And this is what you were talking about earlier. And I got up to Detroit River, fished there for the first time. Went out to Lake Erie from Elizabeth Park. If you guys know that from being up north, that's a scary run, especially when you have an older boat. And I didn't make it very far before I turned around. So I think I'll stay in the river. I went in the river and I went down the river, and then I went to St. Clair, and then I actually found fish on the other end of St. Clair on a spinnerbait. And you know, anyway, so the weather got bad. I kind of that tournament, I just fished mostly the river. Didn't have a great tournament. I think I finished like 69 or somewhere around there, and like out of the 200 boat field. So I had an uphill battle. But when I got off the water, that first event, I felt like I had broken ribs. And I just thought maybe I was that Miracle Mile in the river, you know,
Yeah.
or something. Like I didn't know what it was. Well, it turned out I had shingles. I broke out in shingles.
Oof, ouch.
And, yeah. And being that young, having shingles is not good. It's rare. And so I basically after that, lacrosse was like a week later. So I stayed at a Motel 6 for 5 days laid up. Practiced for a couple days at lacrosse, found some lily pads, and threw a frog around the best I could because I had like a big old rash, so everything hurt, like the rod touching my skin. I had to wear white t-shirts. Shingle sucks.
It does.
And I remember getting just a few bites. And this is kind of funny because if you guys watched the weigh-in just last weekend, I don't know if you did or not, but at the pro circuit, I made the championship day down at the Harris chain, and Chris Jones said on stage, I had, you know, really cool story. So you guys are actually hearing the story right now. Is what he was referring to. Chris Jones has been a tournament director for FLW forever, and he's probably one of the best ever. And he came up to me. He walked right up to me as I was going to the meeting. He didn't know I broke out. He didn't know I had shingles. He didn't know I was broke. He didn't know anything. He just saw me and was like, "Hey, Fred, how's it going?" He goes, "How do you think you're gonna do this week?" And I said, "Well, I'll be honest with you, Chris. I don't have the money to pay for the next balance that's due after this tournament, so I'm probably just gonna go back to California somehow after this tournament." He goes, "Well, stop talking about this." He's like, "Stop talking." He's like, "How do you think you could do this week? What do you think you could do?" And I'm like, maybe 12 to 14 pounds." But you know, the gossip of the dock tie, everyone's talking 17, 18 pounds a day. I've never been to lacrosse, so I've never been up there on the Mississippi. First time, I don't know anything about it. So he goes, "Fred, if you can catch 14 pounds a day, I'll see you here on championship day." And I swear, and I've told the story so many times, but like there was no light at the end of the tunnel for me prior to this conversation. And when he said that, I saw that beam of light. And it just opened up, and it just, I saw clarity. It was an intense feeling. Like I know that if he did not say that or give me the confidence, I'd have been done.
Wow.
And just him saying, just that little bit of hope, like you get 14 pounds, I'll see you, was all I needed. And I went out there with the half a tank of gas I had in my boat, and hoping the co-angler's going to give me some gas money at the end of the day so I can fill up. I went out there and I went to this area that I found with lily pads, and I caught some good ones. I caught, like, in a couple hours I had almost 15 pounds, and I knew I exceeded what I needed to do according to Chris's logic. So I got my butt back to the ramp and just hung out. And for a few hours, and sure enough, I was like 4th place the first day of the tournament. And the only other area that I found was actually you had to lock down to pool 9. We launched out of play, and so I went back to this area. I caught 2 fish pretty quick. One was like a 4-pounder, and the other one was like a 2-pounder. And then the north wind just started ripping. It got cold. The lily pads were flipping upwards. They weren't flat. Couldn't throw my frog really. And it was like 12:30, and I still was sitting on 2 fish. And I was like, oh gosh. I said, I think I can catch him if I lock down. And I said, heck with it. So I went down. And when I got to the lock, it was like around 1 o'clock ish. And the lockmaster said, hey, the whole field that locked down already is coming up because we got a barge coming up. And for those of you that have locked, a barge can take 3 hours. I mean, it double barge. I didn't care. I was like, well, I got to go down there. I got nothing. So I went down, and the lockmaster was really trying to persuade me not to do it. When the doors open, and the gate opened, I went out, and I'll never forget everyone down there telling me to turn around. Because I had this Akuma boat back then. After we talked about working for Akuma, I was running this Akuma Rat, and everyone knew that I was in 4th place. They're like, turn around, don't, there's a barge. And I just went all the way down, went up to Minnesota Slough, went way up there, got over this little sandbar, and got into this little pond that I found. And I threw my frog in there, and I had like, I don't know. I probably made 10 casts, but I caught 3 fish really quick in there, like all solid ones, like almost 3-pounders. And I got out of there, and I got back up to the lock. And that's when I just saw the barge going in, and I was just at peace with myself. I was like, I was late last flight. I think it was around 4 o'clock weigh-in, but I still wasn't sure if I was going to make it back or not. But I was at peace with myself because I made a good decision. Like, I made a really good decision to go down there and get bit, and I got a good limit. And that barge actually went through pretty smoothly. And I eased in there when it was my time, and I got in there, and it locked out, and I ran back up the river to Veterans Park, and I made it back to the check-in with 30 seconds, like 35 seconds or something.
That's amazing.
And everyone was already, the gossip was he got locked out, this, that. And then they saw me show up to the scales. They were like, what? And I had a good bag. Well, now I made the champ. I made the top 10. So then I went out that next day, and I think there were 4-day tournaments back then. Well, the next day I went out, and one of my first fish was the biggest fish, I think, of the whole tournament. It was like almost 6-pounder, 5.15 or 14 or something.
Yeah.
And so I had a substantial lead going into the final day. And then it was it was a real big grind that last day. And ultimately I won the tournament. And I'll never forget that, because that win really catapulted my confidence. It gave me kind of like, I won a boat, which I needed a new boat badly. I won $10,000, so that was cool. Gave me some gas money, right? And I was able to make it to California. I had my buddy with me, his bird, and I drove him back to California. And he was the ex-pro skateboarder. But anyway, long story. Anyway, I came back up to Michigan, Little Bay to Knock, like a few days later. But I wanted to come home, bring my trophy, show my friends and stuff. And I drove all the way to California, drove all the way back to Michigan, and Little Bay to Knock, and it was so windy. And it was a certificate, so I ordered the boat, but I never, I didn't have it. I was still running that old Skeeter. And when I saw how rough it was, I was like, there is no way I'm going out there. And So like the 5 days I got there to practice, I think I practiced for like 3 hours. And
Oh wow.
yeah, and so I got on a little bite where I was just wacky rigging a baby bass Senko,
Okay.
and that and a little darter head with a sweet beaver, a smallie beaver, just two baits, and I made the top 10 in that tournament, um, fishing very close to the ramp, and yeah, I didn't run anywhere.
Yeah.
They moved up and I caught them, and I ended up 8th place in that one. So now all of a sudden I'm looking good for AOI. This is probably
Yeah.
what you were talking about.
Yeah.
And then the next one we go back to Detroit again. We go back to Detroit. My co-angler from Lacrosse came out and practiced with me. Well, the day he practiced with me, there was a real strong west wind, and so I went and fished like the miles off of St. Clair, launched down there, and off of 10 Mile. There's a little hump, just I don't know, like quarter mile offshore, if that, 200 yards. Anyway, it's a little hump, and this dude was in the water, and he had his arms down in the water, and it looked like he was doing water aerobics, and I'm like, what in the world? And so I'm throwing my spinner bait, and I catch a good 3-pounder, and so I had my little pinpoint graph that was on my boat back then, a little black and white. I don't know if you guys are familiar with pinpoint.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I had a little pinpoint. I marked that on there. One of the few waypoints that I ever marked. It was just a random spot.
Yeah.
And the first day of tournament, I got this other spot that's all the way down, going into the channel, going up, going up towards the St. Clair River, going to Huron. I got in a little deal down there, and so I started there. I was in like 25th place the first day of tournament, and I was leading angler of the year after day one. So I was like super excited because now I'm in the FLW tour, right? Just go out and get 5 fish. You're fishing the FL. You got back in the FLW tour the year you got kicked out. Like, how hard is that? Like, off of doing, so I went out the next day and the wind blew real hard. I actually had Dave Simmons from Yamaha at the time. He was the pro staff manager. Didn't know it until he was in the boat with me and he told me who he was and stuff. And so now I really want to make sure he caught fish too. So I remember rigging him up a lipless crankbait and put a big hook on the front and everything. And he caught some fish behind me while I was throwing a spinnerbait. The first spot while it was real windy, but then it just blew too hard. So I said, well, I got this other spot. I caught one on a spinnerbait. So I went over there and he goes, whoa, as we're getting close, he goes, I mean, we're almost right dead nuts on the spot. And he's like, I think I saw a dead body. I'm like, no, you didn't. I'm like, you did not see it. Like, no way. It's probably dead sturgeon or something. We're back around. And sure enough, where that dude was doing the water aerobics, there was another guy. And it wasn't the dude. The dude we saw was the one dragging him out there. So I freaked out,
Oh my gosh.
sick to my stomach. I went straight to the Coast Guard, which was not that far away. Told them, came back out there, and my whole day shot. I mean, I'm sitting there with these guys, telling them what I saw, this, that, and they knew it was like a mafia thing or something. And it was a bad deal. So anyway, I blanked that day. So now, thank goodness I got back in the FLW tour, but I did not have a good tournament that day and did not win Angler of the Year.
No, thanks a whole.
So yeah, that was a really crazy thing. So
That's nuts.
that year, then I came home and I fished the Bass Opens the same year. Bass Opens hadn't started. They're all fall tournaments. And I qualified to the Bassmaster Elites. So now I'm qualified for the FLW Tour and the Elites in 2006.
That's insane.
And then I started off with the first Elite with a second place at Lake Amistad throwing a swim bait. So I just won a boat in another Bassmaster Open at Shasta throwing a swim bait prior with another second place. So I had like 2 back-to-back seconds.
On a roll.
Big win. So I won like $100,000 in just a couple of months, and from being dead nuts broke.
That's incredible.
So it carried me. I lived out of my truck, but I was fishing every day. By then I had the new Ranger that I won. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And just chased it, and I traveled with Ike and Ellie Ish and Byron Velvick, and we all roomed together that first half of 2006 till I met my wife, Julie. And when I met her, we just kind of split off and did our own thing. And yeah, that's pretty much how everything kind of started for me.
Dude. Okay, so a couple things. Number one,
That's incredible.
that was some of the most engaging storytelling I've ever heard in my life.
Sorry, that's a lot. I know I could go on.
Oh, so good, dude. That was amazing. Was there a spot through all that, like when you were learning to fish as a kid and all that stuff, was there a spot where you kind of realized like, dude, I could do this either for a living or more competitively? Like what made you go from like just fun fishing into like competitive? You know what I'm saying? Like what was the transition there?
You know, Jordan, I think honestly, like just love of the game, love of fishing. I never really thought that I mean, I always like, I remember when I was younger, you know, in junior high, when the counselors came out and, you know, they're trying to get you a career day, what you're going to do
Mhm.
and stuff. I wanted to be a bass master. I wanted to be a pro bass fisherman. I had no idea how to do it. I didn't know the path to do it or
Yeah.
anything like that. And so, you know, just loving fishing, getting jobs at the tackle store, doing, you know, everything I did was so I could fish. Never really dreamed that it could be a career. It just kind of evolved to one. You know,
Yeah,
like
that
I
makes
said, I wanted to be a pro snowboard. When I got really good at snowboarding, I was like, man, everyone's like, you need to start competing in these competitions and stuff. And I was like, yeah. And so that was like, I didn't realize that, you know, I felt like fishing was, even though I was really good at it, and people were like, well, what percentage is luck and what's skill? And I just kind of felt like you had to be good, skillfully and good mechanically, and understand fish, but there was so much luck involved. I
yeah.
could totally control my skill level with snowboarding, you
Yeah.
know. So I felt like there was more of a chance, a viable chance to be better at that. But in reality, I was a way better fisherman.
Wow.
So,
Great, man. That's a that's a great way of putting it for sure. Yeah, because no matter what, man, there's so many variables in fishing that you're right. There's not as many. There is variables in snowboarding too, skateboarding, whatever, but not like there
yeah,
is. Yeah, that makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah. I mean, you just get, you just practice your skill level. You go from, you know, doing an ollie to next thing you know, doing a kick flip to a heel flip to impossible. And
Yeah,
then, you know, it's like, it's just, I don't know. I felt like if I repetition with fishing, you just, the unknowns at the end of the line, right? You just don't really know.
hmm
But then the more I do it and the more I watch Drew Gill mathematically kick our butts, and he's doing it straight like AI. I don't know. The guy's not real.
yeah,
Uh, he breaks everything down into statistics and numbers, and it works. And I don't think anybody ever realized that in a competition fishing that you can break down every little scenario into some kind of statistic, and he's
yeah.
figured it out.
He's not dumb for sure. So okay, so if you want to talk about Drew Gill, the first thing I think of is scoping.
Sorry.
Like I think that's what everybody thinks of if you think of Drew Gill.
Yeah.
Uh, I know you're a Garmin guy, and Nate
Yeah.
and I do. We love Garmin's. Like I don't run the Force or
Yeah.
anything. I know you do, right? You run the Garmin Force.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So you know we're Garmin guys in terms of live scope, not on your
Oh,
level. But like in general, has forward-facing sonar made fishing more fun for you, or more stressful for you, or none of the above? What has it done in terms of like just
all of the above. I mean, so I love doing it. Like it's so
yeah,
much fun. The problem is like you're not. You know, you guys aren't even gonna believe this. So my wife, her dad, worked at Lowrance. Okay, he retired from Lowrance. All the engineers at Lowrance that he worked with ended up going to Garmin when Navco bought them out. Navico.
mhm,
And so when they were developing the live scope, you know, or when they were before live scope even, he told me, because I was always kind of like engineered sponsored from or from Lowrance, but when all the engineers went over there, and one of his guys personally went over there. He said, you need to go talk to Garmin, and I'm like, really? He said, yeah, yeah. And so I talked to Daryl over there, and he got me on the team. So I was actually officially on the team with Garmin when I was never really sponsored by Lowrance, other than getting engineer, you know, taken care of, and
wow,
through all the engineers.
Wow.
So when they all went over there, and then Garmin LiveScope came out, I actually was the very first one with LiveScope. Um, that's the crazy thing. Like I had the technology before everybody,
wow,
but did not realize the power of it
sure,
because I
Wow.
didn't become successful because of, you know, sonar. Like that didn't. I was more of a visual, shallow water,
Mhm.
frog, even swim bait fish and stuff like that. And when live scope was first put on my boat, it was at Lake Oahe, for a Bassmaster Elite tournament that my good buddy Mark Daniels won, basically dropping a Ned rig vertical over fish. And I was idling over a point after everything got blown out because I was on a swim bait bite on the bank, when I noticed a fish on 2D that looked pretty big off a point. So I put troll motor down, saw it on the live scope, pitched my drop shot at it, watched it go down, eat my worm, and it was a 515 smallmouth.
Smallmouth.
Got
Yeah,
big
Yeah.
bass, got big bass the entire tournament. But this was on day 2. So I got a paycheck for big bass, but that was it because I sucked in the tournament. And that's when I realized the power of live scope. And so I came back and started crappie fishing, and we did some cool video stuff where I was throwing jerk bait, catching 2 at a time. Like a lot of cool stuff that was in the early stages of it. Those all came off my graphs, right? Like some of the video work that you saw way back in the day. But I never knew how like these kids got involved in it, and they just started shaking worms and minnows and stuff like that. And that I was late to the party on that side of it. And it sucks because I've always had the technology. I could have been one of those guys, but that's not what built me. That's not what made me. So now that my kid's getting older and he grew, like when I got live scope in my boat, guess what? We had it on a little aluminum boat. We had it on everything. And so my kid, when he was younger, Jackson, we have a little lake by us that's trolling motor only. We would just dump him in the water. He'd fish all day, and we'd come pick him up. We'd leave the trailer at the ramp, and then we'd just go pick him up at the end of the day.
Awesome.
And so he was live scoping as a kid, and he was throwing little hair jigs over him. I mean, he was doing some cool tricks. And I remember seeing like just talking to Wheeler and some of these guys about how Jack's been catching them on the live scope, but I never really thought. I don't know if that's how, if any of that inspired what they did or how they're doing it now or whatnot, but he's just been that good because he grew up with it, right? Like, so now he's going to college fishing, his first college tournament. He goes to Arbuckle and catches a 9-pounder in the first college tournament and wins the tournament. And
Golly.
yeah, so he I could brag on him forever, but
Yeah.
he started off in a kayak and won a professional kayak tournament with nothing but 4 rods and a
Good for
little
him.
tackle box. So he's a good all around fisherman, and
Yeah.
I think he's going to be a real contender as long as I don't, regardless if he gets scope or not. But if he gets the opportunity to go out there and scope, he's going to do good. He finished 9th, I think, in the Toyota Series last year when 2 of them were at Rayburn, were scope and dominated. So doing it at 17 years old, he qualified the championship in 9th place.
That's so
Against a bunch of adults. So.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So
is that
he got it.
to go your route in his way?
Yeah, he's doing it his own way. That's the cool thing about it. So what my point was, sorry about that. My point was,
You're good.
So when he comes back and stuff, I like to jump on the boat and just get behind his shoulder and watch him.
That's cool.
See how he does it because he's so good at it, And he just actually went to South Africa for the Tri Nations and with the youth, and they all won the gold for USA, but his performance alone outfished the next competitor by 16 pounds.
Holy Moses. That's
over 3 days.
Wow, good for him, man.
Now he did have the luxury to have live scope on the boat he got the fish out of, so
Yeah.
it worked out great. But that also qualified him to the Ultimate Angler World Championship for $500,000 here in October at Guntersville. I'm not even qualified for that. So everyone's like, what's he doing this year? I'm like, shoot, he's going to fish for $500,000 in October. What more do you? He's going to keep going to college and college tournament fish and maybe do some Toyotas here and there. But I'm pretty proud of him. So
yeah, you should be. I love seeing that now.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
All the guys who are like my heroes growing up, you, Randy Howell, Ike, and Ike's got Vegas, Randy has Laker, you have Jackson. I'd seen their kids come in and just kill it too. It's wild. Like it's kind of
I mean, I really, it's crazy because I haven't really got the time to spend with Vegas. A lot of it's because he lives really far away. Ike does, but like Laker Howell, I got to hang out with him quite a bit just at the Bass Open down in Florida, and he's such a great person, well spoken, and an incredible fisherman. And It is cool. It gives me goosebumps just thinking about how these kids are, all the guys that I hung out with. And it's crazy to make me feel so old that it's, this mid 2000s that we all fished, or mid to late, like, was it 2006, 7, 8, 9, 10?
Mhm.
We were all, there's all Bassmaster guys, and then, seeing the kids and the sport now, it's just, I'm fishing the MPFL this year. I'm fishing the Bass Opens. I'm fishing, um, Major League Fishing Pro Circuit. But there's so many opportunities at there's different ways. Any direction they want to go, they can go now.
Yeah, that's
Where
cool.
it wasn't that
Heck
easy.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's easy now, because the competition's way harder because there's more out there.
yeah.
No.
Yeah, but there's more ramps, there's more options once you go pro. MPFL, and then there's that new crazy thing with the $1 million or whatever it is championship deal, and yeah, there's just a bunch of cool stuff out there.
Yeah, that one breaks my heart, because
That million,
I've been on that top level for the last 20 years.
yeah,
Fishing, and then Major League Fishing cut the
Mhm.
field down to 50, and I didn't make that cut, and that sucks, because I had a couple bad years, and I could blame it on all different things. I had a lot of things going on at home, and I wasn't 100% vested into my fishing for the last few years, because frankly my mom wasn't doing well, and we moved her out here, and I was taking care of her, and she passed away on Christmas last year. So it was
sucks.
I had a lot of other things in life going on, and then when they made the cut, I shouldn't have fished last year, so that's what sucks. So now I'm kind of having a reset year, and trying to figure out where I want to go in the next chapter. So that's
Yeah.
why I'm fishing a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
There's a lot of conflicts this year with scheduling, so I'm kind of signed up for events that overlap other events, and I just have to cross those bridges when the time comes.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, Nate, what you got, man? I know you got some questions in your head. I've been kind of jumping in so much. I'm sorry, brother.
No, you've been killing it. I've just been enjoying the stories, but I just think it's awesome. Like, even the stuff you post on social, with you and Jackson's, like, boats next to each other in the shop or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I can't wait for that day. Like, it's so awesome. My son, he's 7 now, but we fished our first couple tournaments together last year, and that's like, he's still just, that's all he talks about. He's got, like,
Oh my
he got
gosh,
a
you
little,
got the bug.
he got a
You're
yeah,
in
he got a
trouble.
little check, and it's up on his wall in his bedroom, and he's
No
always
way.
talking about it. Yeah, so it's awesome.
Oh, that's so rad. I love it. 7
Yeah.
years old. That's when that's the age. Like, if you can get them in at that age hooked, watch out.
Yeah, for sure.
The first tournament I took my middle son Vinny on, I think he was 7 as well, and it was a Thursday nighter 3-fish tournament, and we had just under 10 pounds and ran out of gas on the way back to the lane.
Oh no.
And the winning weight was like 6 pounds.
Oh.
Which he brings up at every possible opportunity. Every time he gets a chance, he gets around anybody fishing. Yeah, one time we were fishing a tournament, we would have won, but he ran out of gas. Like,
hey, that's a memory he'll cherish forever. Though,
yeah, it's not my favorite memory, but yeah, it's there.
It's not favorite.
Yeah. Well, hey, Fred, if you're up to it, we always do this goofy thing with our guests called One of Your Favorites. It's kind of like a rapid fire. We play this cheesy theme song, and then we just say one of your favorites. We pepper in random topics, and then you can say like a quick response to it. Could be fishing, might not be fishing. And then we want to talk tacos, talk a little bit about your future. We don't want to keep you on forever, but this is awesome, man. Thank you again for doing it.
Incredible. Yeah.
All right, let's run it real quick. Let's run it.
One of your favorites.
All right, what's one of your favorite, like, West Coasty fishing spots? Like something really like West Coast.
Gosh, I've always loved the California Delta. I mean, that is where I cut my teeth in tournament bass fishing, and I mean, I actually got to go back there this year for the we released some new frogs with the Frog Factory, the Sonic Boom. So I got to go out there and do the Ultimate Frog Challenge on the Delta, and we won the manufacturer side of the event, and it was so cool to go back and fish some of the same spots I fished 25 years ago, and so yeah, California Delta for sure.
Love it.
Yeah, that's awesome. What's one of your favorite gill fishing products?
Gill fishing. Oh, it's got to be the Apex rain suit. I mean, that
Yeah.
is their rain suit. I just so when you talk about, I can sit here and sell everybody on one right now. But so the way they measure the waterproof ability in a rain suit's through a hydrostatic head, and so theirs is a 40,000, and to put that in layman's terms, that's like 4 stories of water pressure it would take to seep through the fabric. And it's their own proprietary fabric. It's not like a Gore-Tex. It's
Wow.
commercialized. It's their own deal. And everything is, double taped, stitched, everything. I mean, it's just not going to leak. Like I get a new rain suit every year. I shouldn't be saying this, but that's because they take care of me.
Yeah.
But I'm still running like 4-year-old one,
Good
So
stuff
I
right
have
there.
a closet that's got a bunch. When people come out, I'm like, don't bother. They come visit. Don't bring your rain suits. We got you.
Yeah, that's a good. I mean, that's how it is in snowboarding too. Like snowboard pants, jackets are like 1K rated, whatever. So you're saying it's like 40K, which is a whole different.
It's a whole, it's nuts. Like, you will not get wet in this stuff. So,
Yeah.
and it's a really reasonable. I mean, it's probably an $800, bibs in the jacket, but money well spent.
Yeah. I think you just sold it right there, but you're still running a 4 or 5-year-old one.
Yeah,
no
I got
doubt.
them. I mean, I've been with them for years, and I've probably got even older ones that I still wear, but it's just they don't look the same, so that's why I can't wear those. Like they're bright orange, or they got different colors, so that's like they want me to promote the newer styles, and they just came out with the Apex Pro 2, which I have not seen, so I will probably be running a new one once I get that. But
Okay.
but that is only because it's the newest one. And that's what they want me to wear.
Yeah,
But,
they're kidding.
yeah.
All right. What's one of your favorite musical artists or band? Something you listen to?
Oh man, I love all music. Like
Love it. Okay.
that's a crazy thing. Like you could put me. So this is funny. I got this boat. I got speakers in it, and I just went to the Harris chain last week, and I'm going through these long idles, so I'm just blaring my music during the tournament as I'm idling through. So I was like, I had Kid Rock going.
Okay.
I had Red Hot Chili Peppers going. I
Yeah.
had Metallica going. I had, some country, some Luke Combs. I mean, I'm all over the map with music, and so I think, gosh, I mean that's tough, man. I could never really pinpoint. It's just what mood I'm in,
Yeah, I like it.
Heck
So
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So what's one of your favorite power fishing techniques? We're gonna say aside from a frog.
Swim bait.
Optimum.
Optimum Boom Boom. As a matter
I
of fact, I
love
went out here on Lake Darnell yesterday and caught about 20 pounds with maybe I got a bunch of videos that I haven't really put. I don't know if you saw in my story. I hid some stuff in the background. But yeah, I got on the best swim bait bite ever in Arkansas yesterday, and I'm fixing to go back out in the morning.
Awesome. I love
Heck
those
yeah.
baits. So are you kind of side? We're supposed to go rapid fire here, but are you? I know you're an Optimum guy, but are you keyed into that whole West Coasty crazy swim bait culture?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to say I helped start it,
Yeah.
before I left, but my last tournament before I left was at Shasta, where I took second on a swim bait. But um, there's a lot of baits out there now. I mean, I'm buddies with all the G-Rat guys and everything like that. And,
Yeah.
they actually sponsor my kid.
Oh, cool.
But there's actually, what's crazy? There's around Oklahoma, Missouri, maybe not so much Arkansas, but there's some amazing custom glide bait makers out here.
Sure. Yeah.
From KBG up there, and then the Biggs. I don't know if you guys have seen Biggs. Ryan Biggs makes them in Oklahoma,
Yeah.
and he sends me some, and I've caught some really big fish and some key fish in tournaments on them, but that, and then you got Buka, all his old resin stuff, and now with GSM they just bought the Buka glide baits, which are the trick shads and stuff like that are ABS plastic, which are great as well, especially for scoping.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I do. I have probably one of the biggest swim bait collections. We could do that next time.
Yeah. I love that crap so much.
Say
Man.
when. Heck yeah.
Yeah, I can fall down that hole for days and not come back out. Have you ever? You
Yeah.
probably haven't heard of. We used to be sponsored by. Now we're just kind of friends with him. But there's a dude. I think he lives in Alabama now, doesn't he? Nate, doesn't Ryan live in Alabama now?
I know he was in Tennessee, but then I think he
Yeah, that's
moved.
right.
So yeah, I'm not.
Alabama to Tennessee or vice versa. But he has a company, Fish 30 Acre. I don't know if you ever heard of their swim bait.
Oh yeah, those are nice.
Yeah, they're incredible. He went to taxidermy school to learn how to paint taxidermy so that he could apply it to lures, just like that hyper real.
That's insane.
Yeah, pretty dope. But what's one of your favorite ways, boom boom, what's one of your favorite ways, maybe favorite's a weird word, to reset after a bad day on the water?
Just get back out there, go fishing again.
Okay.
I mean, if for me, if a bad day on the water means I didn't make the next day of fishing, so I'm in the car driving and back home, and that's like, I don't know, that sucks. But I do get to like put the live on and listen to it while I'm driving and learn where my mistakes came. But the moment I get back to Arkansas, I'm going fishing the next day. I mean, that's I've always done that now that we live here on Lake Darnell, and I think that's my best way to get over a bad tournament.
Is that like cathartic for you? Is it therapeutic?
It's definitely therapeutic because, I mean, heck, it's like when you were doing a skateboard trick and it didn't work that time, you're going to get back up and try it again, right? You're going to keep on doing it until you do it. And I know it's different most of the time when I go from wherever I was up in New York, catch smallmouth. I come down here, Darnell, there's no smallmouth, but just catching a fish, it's therapeutic. It just feels good.
Yeah.
Now, what sucks is when you come back home and you don't catch one the next day. That's bad.
Come on.
That's when you just want to like.
Yeah.
That's when I'm grouchy.
Yeah, I hear that.
Heck yeah. So what's one of your favorite bait casting reels of all time?
Ooh. This is funny you say that because do you remember the Shimano Castaic? It was a flipping reel that you could push forward with your thumb.
Yeah.
I was fishing a tournament on the Delta years ago, and I was actually repping Power Pro at the time, and I had braid on there with a jig, and I was one-handed pitching it to the reeds, and as soon as we hit the water, I just click it with one hand. So I'd be like, and it would engage the reel, and I watched a big mouth grab that jig, and one hand it cracked it, and it was big fish. The tournament it was like an 8.5 pounder. And that reel, I used it for punching, Chaffalaya. The first time I was there, I cast check. I did like that one reel I had forever, ever, and ever, and ever. Well, then I kind of like put it away when I got sponsored by the reel companies and stopped using it. Well, we just relocated that reel, and I gave it to my son. And he spooled it up and went down to Florida with it. I haven't even followed up with him if he liked it or not, but that reel was really one of the coolest probably reels I ever owned.
Yeah, that's
that's awesome.
Yeah. Castaic's a whole cool thing. The name, the area, like the swim bait company. I mean, Castaic.
Yeah.
I know it's not the same thing, but what's your favorite mistakes you've made fishing that you still laugh about? Like something that now removed from it, you're like, oh, I remember when I did that. That was dumb.
Well, I mean, obviously sinking my boat, making that decision.
Yeah,
running that way was that was pretty dumb. But I mean, just like, okay, here's one. When I was younger, and when you're 21 and you're hanging with your boys, and you go to the bars, whatever, and you got a tournament the next day. Me and my buddy, we launched, took off, did live well check, ran to our first spot, and realized there wasn't a single rod in the boat.
Oh my gosh!
So that was the biggest thing. And that was on the Delta. And luckily, they were just in the back of the truck in the camper shell, but they weren't in the boat. So we had to run all the way back, take off. I mean, we lost so much time on the Delta. It was a good run too. And we got our rods and we went back out. We ended up having a decent tournament, but just, I mean, how dumb.
Yeah, that's really good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I got one more on that. So this wasn't my fault, but I left my boat at a buddy's house for the night that was closer to the Delta, And I said, hey, do you mind plugging do you mind charging my battery? I said, do you mind charging my batteries? That's all I said to him. I figured he knew what I meant by that, like plug it in. And well, I got to the tournament and opened up my back apartment. There was no batteries in my boat, like nothing. I was like, what the heck? So I
What?
sitting there calling him, and it's early. He went awake. Finally, he answers like, oh yeah, I forgot to put them back in. They were on the charger. I'm like, what do you mean they're on the charger? He took them out and charged them like
Oh,
with a.
my,
He didn't know that there was an actual onboard charger. You just plug it in and they would all charge.
oh my
So I
gosh.
had to go back, and then I had to figure out how to rewire the 36 volt, this was like you didn't have like internet on your phone back then. So I didn't understand how to make a battery go from 312s go to 36.
Yeah.
I could not figure it out.
Yeah, you don't want to run them the wrong way. Yeah.
No, and finally, I had to drive to a tackle store, and a guy came out. This is all before everyone's already fishing, and I'm trying to figure out it.
Oh my gosh.
So I think I got out there around 10 a.m.
Oh wow,
Oh gosh, dog, that's a good one.
So,
that is
yeah.
funny.
Dude,
I've
Golly.
seen it all. I swear. I've seen it
These
all.
are amazing. All right, Nate, let's give him a couple more, and then we'll get out of this.
Yeah, one of your favorite fast food stops when you're on the road.
Such a good one.
Ooh. I is Chipotle fast food?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love a big burrito. Like I am.
Yeah, man.
I'm a taco burrito guy. Hey,
Yeah.
look, if it wasn't that, it'd be Taco Bell. But Taco Bell. When I broke out in shingles, is because I ate a lot of Taco Bell. So
You think that's why you got? I think that's why you got shingles was Taco Bell.
I don't know. No, I think it was stress, malnutrition. I think it was a lot of things. I don't. I mean, if I could go to a Taco Bueno, that would be that. That's what they have in. Have you been to Taco Bueno?
Yeah.
Those are in Oklahoma. Those are amazing.
Yeah,
actually, we got some here in Arkansas, but we have to drive kind of far. But that's
yeah.
But if not, Chipotle is pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, there was
heck yeah.
when I used to live in Texas. Yeah, I've been to Taco Bueno going through, but what's the other one in Texas? It's another chain, but it's like Taco Bell, but it's so good. They have like a salsa bar, so it's a little more like authentic. But
Taco
yeah,
Mayo or Taco.
I can't remember what it is, but it was stupid good. It was right by my house, which was not convenient because that's got fatter. You know what I'm saying? But it was gosh dog it. If I saw it, I'd know it off the top of my head. But anyway, all right, let's go one more. What's your favorite old school techniques to fishing? And I know frogging, whatever, but I don't know if I'd call that old school. That just never really went away. But like, we just saw Hank Cherry win an elite on a
that
rub
thing. I didn't even know. Dude, that's like
freaking bait caster,
grandpa's
1/8 ounce. That was awesome.
That was the coolest thing I've ever seen in bass fishing.
Amazing. Yeah. What's another technique that you like?
That's old school. I mean, I love the spinner bait. Like honestly, just a straight up spinner bait. Now, there was a tournament just a couple years ago where I had some issues with my regular tournament boat and my other boat that one that's in the video with Jack that had a 2-stroke on it. I had to have that one towed to some events because the Mercury trailer was down, and so I ended up using that one in a Bass Pro Tour, which is probably the only one ever in a Bass Pro Tour that ran a 2-stroke. And so I ran that, and I was catching them on. I made the championship day. Did I make championship day? I made knockout round anyway. Fishing a spinner bait on the bank, and that was super cool. Where everyone's out there scoping and stuff, and I did old school. So that was
Spinner are weird, right? Like spinner baits always work. They never really don't work, and they just fade out of popularity. And then people are like, "Oh, that's right, these catch fish," and they start winning them again. And
yeah,
then
once the guy gets
out, they come.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. Yeah, you're right. It's just,
once one guy gets slinging them and catch a fish, they're all in on them. I think the biggest thing with a spinner bait is keeping them from rusting, right?
Yeah.
It's just storage with the spinner bait.
Yeah.
That is probably that to me is probably the most headache thing. I finally got to where I'm putting them in those bags, those like bags where you zip them up, the rubber kind of, you can get them at like Tackle Warehouse. I think Bass Mafia makes them or something.
Yeah.
There's ones doing them now, but yeah, I like storing them in the little ones if they're all the exact same, and then I put those little ones all in a big one.
Yep.
And everything's sealed, so that way there's no way they're gonna rust. And
That's a real thing. Yeah. All right. Well, that was my favorite ever. One of your favorites.
One of your favorites.
Thanks, man. That was awesome. So let's talk tacos real
Heck yeah.
quick before we get into one last thing, because we totally keep it around for like an hour. It's already been a little over that. I thank you so much, man. This is amazing. Easily one of my favorite conversations I've had on this podcast.
No doubt.
So you said you're a taco guy. You said you're a Chipotle guy. You go to Chipotle. What do you load up? Are you a go through everything guy, or do you have like a thing like your go to, recipe?
I mean, I usually just go. I just go there and get the big because usually when I go, I'm hungry.
Attaboy.
And
Yeah.
I see everyone in front of me getting these bowls, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you know how good these tortillas are?
You are spot on.
So I straight up get the I get a steak. I start off with the white rice, the pinto beans, the steak. I like the pico on there, the
Mhm.
lettuce, and I like the white sweet corn. I love that on there.
It is good.
And then a big old blop of guacamole,
Yep.
all wrapped up. I'm a happy camper.
Now
Yeah, that's awesome.
I owe you won that $250,000 tournament. If you're putting guacamole on a Chipotle, because it's like $3 now, but man,
Yeah, I know, right?
you walk out of there with a $15 one burrito. It's like, holy crap.
Yeah, it's usually about right. It's
Yeah.
about right. It's like right
Yeah.
at 15, 16 bucks for a burrito.
Good as heck.
But man, you don't complain about being hungry after that. That's for sure.
And you don't really,
No, not at all.
feel gross either. It's not like eating like,
No, you actually feel pretty good about it. Yeah.
you don't just feel sick like because it's a lot of food, but it's pretty quality, I think.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. So what's your go-to taco? What's your favorite taco? If you could snap your fingers and have a taco in front of you, what is it?
Gosh, I like a good old fashioned street taco. I mean, like that there's whenever I go to a taco truck, which there are quite a few of them out here in Arkansas. I mean, it's hard for me not to just go get like 5 street tacos and just
Heck yeah.
it's just got little chunks of steak in it, little what does it got? What do they put on the onion and the chives or something like that?
Yeah, usually it's onion and cilantro chopped up.
Cilantro. Yeah, cilantro.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's it. It's simple. It's just so simple, and they usually have their own sauce of some sort, and
Yeah.
put a little hot sauce on it, and man,
Yeah.
incredible.
There's something about like
A little
a,
carne
ta-
asada.
a taco shop's like personal hot sauce, whatever it may be. There's something about the way that their hot sauce goes with their tacos. It's just incredible.
The surprising ones are the green ones. When they give you a green, they got a little bag, and you got to like pop it and squeeze
Yes.
it. It
Yeah.
can either be like mild, or it could be the hottest thing you've ever had in your life, and it's always a mystery.
Yeah.
until you take that first bite.
Yeah.
That is though how you know it's gonna be good is if it comes in a little baggy and you have to pop the corner. That's
That's
how
right.
you know
It's like
gonna
they
be a
just
good
tie it off
sauce,
these little
so.
bags. That's all.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like you're putting icing on a cupcake or
That's
something.
exactly how they do it. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
You got any local spots there, Boom Boom, in Arkansas that are good, like that you can think of?
So we live in a dry county, so I got to drive like 20 minutes to this place called Blackwell, and they have a taco truck in the parking lot there.
Oh heck
And
yeah.
we actually swung by there today to get a case of beer for the weekend, and they were not open. So I was very disappointed. So we ended up going to a different Mexican restaurant on the way home.
Okay.
So yeah, El Toro.
How was that?
That was good. Their carne asada is amazing.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
Like that for sure. What on a taco, Fred? This is usually Nate's question. I'm gonna beat you to it, Nate. What on a taco is the most important topping? Like make or break?
It's the sauce, like it's their salsa. Like it's,
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
if I can't say I've never really not liked one. They're always just a little different.
Yeah.
I prefer, a little heat, not too much heat, but just, gosh, and the steak's got to taste not irony. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah.
I don't like too much like irony steak. Like I can taste it.
Yep.
But when it's just like when they got the right seasoning in that and they do it right, I mean it's
Yeah. You're talking about that food truck in Blackwell or whatever you said. So
Yeah.
There's a few places out here like that are real local, indigenous, little hole in the wall places, and like you're just jonesing for it. You can almost taste it. You've had it so much, you know the smell. And then you get there and it's closed, and it's like Santa's not. Yeah, like it's just awful.
It was. I was really upset today.
Yeah.
My kid just won. They just won their conference basketball and everything.
That's
Put
awesome.
it on Instagram and stuff, and we went there after. And I said, "Let's go get some tacos." No.
Dang.
My bad. I felt horrible.
You said the funniest part about this is we're three grown ass men talking about tacos, and you said with a completely straight look on your face, what'd you say? I was really disappointed. Like I was really sad. Like
I was devastated.
Yeah.
It's
I've
like,
been there.
Yeah. So you or your wife, who cooks? Who's the taco maker?
I'll be honest with you, she does. And what we do around here is we go crappie fishing. Have you ever had crappie tacos?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Now those are phenomenal. Like
Yes, dude.
we do the crappie tacos. She blackens them out there. I mean, it's the best. And she puts like she uses the Greek plain yogurt. Because I can't really do sour cream. I'm kind of lactose intolerant. So we do the plain Greek yogurt, and then she mixes it with some. I'm not sure what it is, but it's incredible. And it just it all goes together so good.
Wow.
So
it's perfect.
And some cabbage on there and whatnot.
That sounds really good. Yeah. I love fresh fish tacos, and like that's the one good thing. Like literally the only good thing about ice fishing is the fish, the fillet on a fish coming out of cold, clean water is so good. And you slap that sucker in a taco before it's ever frozen. Man,
Oh, and then you got to put that cheese on it. It's that powdery cheese. What do you call it?
Yeah, well, they have a couple. There's like the Chihuahua cheese, and then there's another one that's a kind of like a drier.
I'm gonna go grab it out of the fridge and show you.
Queso fresco.
Or queso fresco is a good one. Yeah, it's nonsense good.
Yeah, I'm not just starts with a G or something, right?
Yeah, the Chihuahua cheese is kind of a dry one, and there's a couple other ones. Chihuahua sounds weird because it's like the dog, but it's not cheese, of course. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe that's what it is.
It could be. Is
so
it
good.
Parmesan cheese, or are you talking like in a little tub?
No, it's not a Parmesan. It's in a bag.
Oh, okay, because they have some that looks like the Parmesan shaker, but it's actually like dried.
Hey, Ma, the meatloaf, Ma. I'm gonna go grab it. You want me to go grab it?
Yeah, get it. Yeah.
You gotta know what this is real quick.
Yeah, I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about letting Boom Boom go show us what kind of cheese he puts on his tacos, Nate.
For sure. Now we can sit here and admire the frog factory rig back there.
Yeah, it's sick. That frog, as a marketing guy too, as a logo guy, that frog logo is so perfect. It's simple. You got the foot and the O for the negative space. Clean. Also, that barn shop garage. Cotija cheese. Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, cotija cheese. Yeah, that is so.
That's what you're talking. Yeah, this is the deal, right?
Yeah, that is the juice.
Oh my gosh.
It's one of those cheeses too that if you ate it on its own, it's not very good. But
it's got to be on a crappie taco or just a taco.
Yeah.
Or a burrito. Yeah. I mean, it's good on a burrito.
Yeah, you're spot on there, brother.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, that's good.
I couldn't think of what it was called.
Yeah, it's like Cotija, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, Cotija, I think is how my wife's Puerto Rican. She'd be so annoyed with me saying Cotija or whatever I said. But she would say it all proper. But yeah, that's dope, dude. Fred, can I ask you a serious question real quick?
Yeah.
I always remembered you by like your beard / like Fu Manchu. You rolling that back out? Or what are you doing with the facial hair, homie?
Dude, I'll be honest with you guys. I can't grow it anymore. It sucks.
What?
I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know if it's a health thing or if it's just.
Yeah.
But I mean, I got longer hair on the back of my head than I've ever had in my life.
Got a lot of hair.
but my facial hair just doesn't grow like it used to.
It just went away.
And I always wondered when I was wearing those life jackets that had like, and I was running all the time. If it was just rubbing my skin to where, or it's just I don't know. It's weird. It just doesn't grow like it used to. So, and I'm getting gray, so it's just kind of.
I think the gray looks. Personally, I think when dudes grow up the gray in their beard, I think it looks dope. It makes you look like smart. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Thank you. That was a dog tail that just got you.
I saw that. Yeah, you said something about not being able to grow, and then your dog went.
Yeah, I don't know if I got to take him outside or something. They're wanting this cheese, is what I'm thinking.
I'm not
You're
mad.
probably right.
I want it too.
Yeah.
Wrap up. Let's wrap up. Boom, boom. Let me ask you a question, man. Where do you? I appreciate all the ups and downs that you're so vulnerable and honest about. Where do you get the balls to be that honest about stuff that most people don't talk about?
I just don't care. I don't know. I mean, if my experiences and downfalls and whatever can either encourage or teach, I'm there. I'd love to. I love being able to help. I'd love for people not to make the same mistakes I've made, but
Mm.
I also want to encourage people to chase their dream and not quit because that
They
week
sunk their boat.
aren't going right for them. That's not
Yeah.
a reason to quit because there's too many possibilities out there, and you just never know when the right one comes along and it's your turn. And when it's your turn, I mean, it's it's your turn. I feel like, and I can honestly say this, it really is for me. Not really growing up in like a Christ household growing up, but coming out here in my family and going to church, and I give all my glory to God. I mean, I'll be honest with you. This is where I am in my life now, and
Yeah.
I feel like He's always had this path for me, and I didn't really, see it. I just, kind of just went with the flow, and
Mm.
I don't feel like there's anything to hide on my end to anybody.
That's big.
So yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I mean, for what it's worth, I meant nothing but a compliment, just to be clear.
Thank you.
I think everybody has those struggles. Everybody has those ups and downs, whether it's financially or between their ears. Can I actually do this thing that I'm chasing after, whatever? And that was what I always loved about you, is that you didn't care. You shared the truth. It was the truth, not if it was easy or convenient or fun to talk about. And I was just like, man, this dude's a real one. This dude's got balls. Dude is
Thanks.
authentic and like
I appreciate it, Jordan.
yeah. Well, I mean, it just seems like in a world of social media and AI and whatever, things are increasingly fake. And so I think
Yeah,
it stands out even more. And so yeah, I applaud you, man. I appreciate you.
that means a lot.
Without a
Thank you.
doubt.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank
Uh,
you, Nate.
Nate, what else you got for this dude before we let him go? I got like one or two more questions in my head.
Yeah. I don't have a whole lot, man. I'm so humbled and honored to be talking to you and hear all these incredible stories. Before you do go, I do want to see if we can get like just a glimpse around of that amazing shop you got behind you. Nothing too crazy, but yeah. Gosh, that looks
So there's
freaking awesome.
Lord, it's even huge.
Oh my god.
there's Avery's little boat we built for him. Then got the truck boat. We actually got this door going into the tackle room over there. It's a mess right now, but that came off a liquor store in Little Rock.
Oh, that's cool.
And then
Heck
here's my
yeah.
boat, just getting everything ready for fishing tomorrow. So
Gosh, that's awesome.
yeah, so this is the shop.
The shop. Yeah, that is amazing.
Oh, then we got the fire going here, and
Yeah.
actually, I think the fire died because I let it die off. Yeah. Oh, it never even went. Never mind.
Dang. Is that shop? Is that something you built or something that was there when you got
Yeah,
it?
no. We built this. This is all land, and we built it. Pretty much just my wife kind of designed it. Like the house is actually attached to this other part of the shop over there,
Oh,
and
wow.
yeah, so it's like it was just a project. Like we lived in a neighborhood in Oklahoma, and then when we bought this land, we dreamt about doing this. And originally we were just going to do this kind of like the guest place, and then build a bigger house up on the hill. And then we got to moving in here, and then COVID hit, and then tournaments started getting a little weird, and fishing, and there was a lot of fear of what to do. And so we ended up actually building another shop. So we got another shop out there that we just use more storage, but kayaks and all that stuff's over there. But yeah, we're happy the way it is. I love it.
Incredible. Heck
We
yeah.
live out a little 40 acres, and we hunt and fish. We got a pond down there. It's got some bass in it. So
Wow, living the life, dude. I love
Yeah,
that.
that's awesome.
yeah, I would have never thought this was possible. I'll be honest with you. Growing up the way I grew up, and it's all because of fishing. 100%. All of it's because I chased a bass and didn't die doing it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I could have hurt myself a lot worse in other sports.
Yeah, no doubt. Like snowboarding, like trying to do 720 off of 40-foot booters.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Wow. Number one, I just want to say thanks for talking about kind of your openness with your faith.
Yeah.
I'm a humongous fan, follower, believer of Jesus Christ myself, and to hear somebody else say it in a way that doesn't come across as like rote and robotic is really refreshing. A lot of times,
Yeah,
say it, but
I think everyone will,
fake.
that decides that that's what how they want to believe. They're gonna figure it out for themselves. And
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. And I think what you said was spot on. That God had this like kind of path for you the whole time. And it's just it's not to get like dorky, but like in that movie, The Matrix, that's something like there's a difference between knowing the path and walking it. I think that's kind of how God waits for us. Like he knows it. We don't always walk it. But anywho, the couple other things I wanted to follow up on is one, what do you think still now, this many years removed, of the legend V20 bass boat, Fred?
Oh, that'll always, that's a that that's iconic. Honestly, that boat was a fun boat. I mean, it was fantastic, and I became really good friends with the owner, Randy Qualls, and still am good friends with him.
Wow.
And when I go down to Sam Rayburn, I always visit with them, and they were great to us. But now that I'm with the Phoenix family, and I'm very grateful to be with them as well. So yeah, I mean, but back to your question, no, it's a fantastic boat. I mean,
that
was cool. And like I said, with the live scope being the first one, I was the first one with one of those V20s too. Actually, the very first one they built was for me.
Oh, that's
that was a really cool thing. I had to send it back because they forgot to put at the bottom of the boat. There's a little bit of a cup that has to go so you can plane well.
Sure.
So it kept wanting a porpoise, and I was like, I can't drive this thing. And so they took it back,
but
they fixed it for me. But it was a cool deal. I enjoyed every year I was with them, and
that's cool.
I went from them back to Triton for a minute because White River Bottom, and then they wanted to shuffle me around over there, and I called Gary Klaus over at Phoenix and jumped on board with the Phoenix, and man, I haven't looked back since. So
yeah, good for you, man. Yeah, I'm only asking that
yeah.
of my V20, and I don't really have a desire to sell it. I feel like it's listed for sale right now, but I'm not gonna sell it. Like I just
I got a buddy in California that keeps fixing all the fiberglass repairs that he keeps hitting things or whatnot. And he doesn't want to get rid of it either. I'm like,
I love that boat so much because weird
don't
one.
you get a new Phoenix?
But you can still go fast in it. Like I can go like 73, 74 in my boat, and it's wide as all get out. It's big, it's fat, it's heavy, and it still goes fast. I love that rig.
That's cool.
Yeah. Last question, I promise. Last one. Boom. Where do you want to go with all this? When it's all said and done, end of the day, if you could write your ending, what does that look like for you?
I think I just want one more big win. Honestly, I know it sounds crazy. One more, because once I win, if I get opportunity to win another one, I'll probably want to win one after that. But
right.
I'm happy with the way my career's turned out. I think at the end of the day, I would love to know if this is what Jackson wants to do, that he can, sustain himself and do it for a living as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I just know deep down he's got the talent, all the talent in the world. So I would love to, do this for a little longer. I did kind of get into another little gig selling steel, and so that's a whole nother business on the side that I'm slowly working into.
Okay.
It's more of an exit strategy for fishing. I just if I'm gonna do it as long as I can. I'm gonna compete as long as I can, as long as I can stay on the level to do it, and be competitive. But also, you don't really have a retirement plan with bass fishing, right? So you just you gotta be smart with your money. And I just feel like the sales with the background I have and the opportunity I got with the steel company, they're sponsoring me right now. Ferrosource, that could be very lucrative. So there is that.
I love that. Yeah,
for sure.
Man, thank you for jumping on our little podcast, Boom Boom. You are legit one of like the few dudes on like our legend sheet. We are honored to talk to you.
That means a lot. Thank you, Jordan.
Yeah,
You guys
really,
are fun. Thank you, Nate.
yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, so thank you for jumping on, man. We'll be watching you like always, rooting for you like always, cheering for you and your son. Yeah, thank you for jumping on the show, brother.
Awesome. And everybody can just follow me on Instagram's the best thing for me. Fred Roumbanis on Instagram. I do a little Facebook, but I kind of got locked out of my main page, so like it's weird. Instagram's the best thing for if you want to follow me.
Yep, you're on YouTube right now. We got a picture going to the bottom of the screen with his social, so you can get the spelling right.
Awesome.
I can't say it right apparently, even though you're like one of my favorites. But
it's all good.
Yeah. All right, man. We appreciate you so much, Fred. We'll bug you later, brother.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Heck yeah, thank you. Peace.
All right. Freaking Boom Boom, dude.
Golly. Man, that was incredible. That was awesome.
That dude is the epitome of perfect fishing storyteller guy.
Yeah,
like
no, without a doubt.
Spoke with on some of those old tournaments. I caught a 3 and then a 4. No, it was a 4 and then a 2. Like, I love that crap, dude.
Yeah.
You're not talking about your crazy Uncle Billy. You're talking about freaking Fred Roumbanis, who is a legend in the sport. I apologize that I messed up the FLW AOY thing. I guess it was that whole deal where he had the AOY in the bag, and then because he saw that freaking dead guy in the whatever, he didn't catch any fish, and that's what crazy. But I just remember he had like the FLW locked up AOI, and I think that's why I said that. I apologize to anybody listening that I'm not quite that stupid. But anyway, you're talking about this dude remembering every specificity, high level detail of wow, what awesome stories.
Yeah, I could just imagine like just sitting next to he's got the fire stoked up, just sitting there. I could listen to stories until 4 a.m.
Yeah,
that would be freaking incredible.
Yeah, you got to go to 6 a.m. and it's like, he's got another story in him. I'm just gonna sit around.
Yeah, we'll be all right. Yeah,
grab me a cup of coffee real quick. I got to hear this one.
Yeah, for sure, man. That was freaking awesome. Just incredible. What a stud.
What was one of your favorite stories, Nate? One of mine was when he said the thing about his buddy taking the batteries out to charge them, like took them out.
Yeah, charge my batteries.
Yeah, the funniest thing about that is his buddy was probably like, "Oh yeah." He asked me, I'm gonna do this right. You know, I'm really gonna make sure they get charged up, and didn't know anything. You know, like if you didn't know about onboard chargers or just plugging something in, you didn't know. That was probably my favorite story because it was like hilarious, but also kind of sweet and innocent and helpful.
Yeah, for sure. Mine was probably the one he told just prior to that with the running out on the water with no rods, because when I went down and I fished my first Bassmaster Open as a co-angler, by far the biggest tournament I've ever done, driving all the way to Louisiana, putting my rods inside the hotel, like after rigging and everything. That was my biggest fear, is like, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna pack it, I'm gonna head out, and I'm gonna leave these rods in the corner. Like that was I was so scared of forgetting the rods, like trying to get everything together, drive to the ramp and forgetting the rods in the corner of the hotel room, and to find out,
this happened.
Fred Roumbanis has done that. Essentially, it was pretty awesome.
Be okay for everybody else, because I mean I've done the thing where I didn't put the plug in the boat, or forgot like a lure that I wanted on the peg hook in the garage or whatever, but to leave all your rods after you make a long run, that's pretty dang funny.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think one time I was going deer hunting one morning, left here at like 3 a.m. and made it like 45 minutes away, and realized I forgot my bow at home.
Oof.
and had to drive back 45 minutes, get my bow, and then head up. So I have done that before, but man, that's crazy.
I went out to the woods when I lived in Port Byron, Illinois. My woods were near Aledo, Illinois, which is about almost an hour drive. Got out to the woods, and I still don't know why it wasn't there, but I got up in the tree, and my release for bow hunting was on the table at home. And so I knew, like in the back of my head, like I'm just going to be tempting fate, and some like 200-inch giant buck is going to come out, and I'm going to have to try and shoot this thing fingers. Luckily I didn't see anything, because I was like, I'm not driving I'm not driving all the way there and then all the way back again. That's 2 hours, round trip to come back out. So that's 3 hours of driving to get to the wood. I'm not doing that. So I'm like, if I have to, I'll just shoot fingers, but thank God I didn't have to go that far. Yeah, I would not have gone. You've done that too?
Yeah, I've got a mount. It's out in the garage. I'll next podcast we have, I'll put it back here behind me. But I've got a mount that I have that I shot the deer with fingers because I forgot my
That.
Release. Yeah. I
That's
left my release in my bow case.
Yeah, so fate did come in there, like that tempting fate thing, like where you're just asking for something to go wrong because you're not ready. But
Exactly.
Cool dude, man. Just it was so funny. I was like, how do you have the balls to do that? How do you have the guts to be that honest? He's like, I just didn't care. I wish more people didn't care in that way. I wish more people were like, F it. Because I think if we could really peel back the layers, and I'm not trying to get all deep and philosophical here, but I think if we could all peel back the layers in our own minds and our own hearts, I think we care about what people think more than we like to admit. And to have somebody who's on a stage and on a platform and just says like, yeah, if I didn't win that derby on lacrosse, I didn't even have a way to get back home. I didn't have the gas to get back to California. And then also to hear that tournament director says that just positive kind of objective piece to him, like, well, dude, you get 14, you're fishing the final day. Like, a simple, you never know how far like a really encouraging word can go in somebody's life. You know what I mean? Like, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, without a doubt. Just taking the time to, get that negative mindset kind of out of his system, out of his aura, and just leading him in the right direction. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's not normal.
No.
It should be. Hold on, I'm just typing something up real quick. But yeah, what an awesome episode with an awesome dude. I kind of wish we could have gone longer with him, but I felt like, he told us he was like, no, there's no time limit, but I didn't want to keep him up forever, and he's going fishing tomorrow, so I kind of felt bad. But I feel like we could have talked for another 3 hours or something. You know what I mean?
Gosh, without a doubt, yeah. We need to link back up with him and maybe set like a every couple of months deal and just have him on and just talk fishing. Yeah.
Story time with Uncle Boom Boom.
Heck yeah. That's incredible.
But all right, so real quick, let's run through the sponsors, the socials. So sponsors of our show that we're so pumped about, we're brought to you by the fine folks at Grizzly Coolers. They are our presenting sponsor. They've been our presenting sponsor for a while, and we love being on board with that squad. If you go to grizzlycoolers.com, you're 15% off with the code WCB. We're also part of Loophole. We're part of the performance eyewear team, best polarized sunglasses I've ever worn. But everything they make, whether it's that spotting scopes, binos, their apparel, everything they do is next level. Incredible. Giltek, Gilltek, and Hook and Arrow Supply Co. Moldy's Marine, which is our buddy Jeremy, who is an amazing dude. Boat detailing, fiberglass work, engine repair, electronics installs. He even does mobile, meaning if you need your boat clean, carpet cleaned, if you want to get Gator Step on there, which is actually a better version of Sea Deck, he can come to you, bring it back to his place, and get it all installed. And then our newest sponsor, Denali Fishing, makers of some of the dopest rods on the planet. The new DLE series, if you have not checked that out yet, number one, the namesake is amazing. It's actually named after the owner, Scott Estes. It's named after his dad. That's what the initials come from. And it's got that hard carbon blank that comes down into your hand as opposed to like a split grip, so you can feel every teeny little thing on it. On another thing on that DLE series, the guides, I don't know if you've seen this, Nate, they don't have any ceramic in them, but they're coated.
Yep.
So your little insert will never fall out because there is no insert, but it's still slickered and snot, so that it's not going to mess up your line or nicks or anything. That's just fishing stuff built by fishing people. And right now with the code Tackle and Tacos, you get 100% off your order. I just made that up. There's no discount code. But Denali Fishing, we were actually with them a long time ago. Which, we have another podcast, if you haven't watched it yet, with the big announcement and everything, talking about Denali, but now we're back with them, with just the coolest dude, Scott Estes and Denali Fishing. squad. There's a reason why dudes like Michael Neal, who's got to be what, top 5 fishermen on planet Earth,
Incredible. Yeah.
on Denali for a long time. Their spinning reels are really, really good. I think they're called the Fission and Fission Pro or something. The 3 size reel is just this balanced little perfect work of art with super, super articulate drag system. DenaliFishing.com. Make sure you check them out. Nate, what you got on them socials?
Everybody knows where to find us at Tackle and Tacos on everything: Facebook, Instagram, the YouTube. That's where we're at. That's what we do. Jordan's been killing it on the YouTube posts, and we're trying to stay as active as possible on the socials. Definitely keep an eye out, for we're doing all kinds of stuff right now on social giveaways.
Yeah.
Quick little, comment contests and all kinds of cool stuff. So definitely interact with us as much as you can on the socials. We appreciate it, and we love hearing from everybody. So
yeah, we're doing. Me and Nate were talking. We have like this goofy thing we're going to start doing like once a week, every other week. Nate will post something and I'll post something where we do like a caption contest or a show us your favorite fish you caught last year or smallest fish contest or something, and we'll just ship you a lure because we're tackle and tacos. We can't really ship a taco, that wouldn't really work, and not even like a lure, just something random like, hey, here's a dope live target square bill. What's your favorite fishing memory from last year? And then we pick one of the comments and we ship it to you for free for absolutely no reason. This will happen every week. And then we already released the episode for it. But again, the 1,000 like YouTube giveaway, that's a big one. So if you don't know the details on it, I'm not going to rehash them all here. But we're trying to get to 1,000 likes on YouTube. We're not that close, but we're not that far. We post at least one short every single day. Every podcast we do is on YouTube, and then we're going to get deeper into the content stuff again this year, doing like some how-to videos, some like, tournament videos, all that kind of stuff on our YouTube. And when we get to 1,000, we're doing a mega giveaway, which go to the episode before this one, skip, and check that out. It's the details. It's the details on the 1,000 giveaway, episode, or the 1,000 giveaway, what the details are of what we're giving away. So other than that, what else you got, Nate? Anything?
Man, that's it. Thanks for listening. We appreciate every single one of you, especially Fred Roumbanis. That was incredible.
Amazing.
Man, that's it. Remember, positivity is worth the effort. Peace.
Catch you on the next one. Bye-bye. Thank you.